Long live the Iranian Revolution, the heroic, courageous struggle of precious Iranians in the face of overwhelming brutality and cruelty for 46 years. And shame on those who would view those precious human beings willing to pay the ultimate cost as if they're just pawns playing some ideological game. Right-wingers who claim that somehow American imperialism is all right abroad and fascism at home being justified, and then claiming to be in solidarity with the heroic struggle against oppression. Shame on those on the left who view precious Iranians solely as pawns and not understanding, in fact, that you can never justify massive repression in the name of some anti-imperialist project. We've got to be anti-imperialist, morally consistent against any form of oppression. And on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day tomorrow, let us say quite boldly, let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Yes, in Gaza, the genocide is still real. Yes, in Venezuela. Yes, in Minneapolis. Yes, in Sudan. Yes, in Haiti. Yes, in Harlem. Can we be morally consistent to be in solidarity with all of those who struggle against any form of oppression? Or do we simply want to play games? Let us be real. Let us be in genuine solidarity against any folk who are suffering and resisting.
How did you react when you saw him repeating CIA talking points and siding with Trump in his regime change attempt for war in Iran?
It's insane. This is why he is invited on CNN. This is why he's a suitable left.
Yep.
This is the suitable left in the United States. They always side with imperialism and legitimize the talking points of the empire whenever they need them to. If you're an American who live in the most violent empire in modern human history, and you're commenting on Iran, the only thing you should be saying is how the United States should drop the sanctions regime and their economic war against the country. Because anti-imperialists like myself, we never deny the fact that some of these countries may be divided. But how are you as an American going to erase all the voices of the Iranian people who came out in support of the regime, who came in support of their government, because they understood that this was a Mossad color revolution attempt? You guys know the fake crown prince. The first thing he said he's going to do when he takes power is he's going to normalize relationships with Israel, and he's going to dismantle the Palestinian resistance. And it's been openly admitted by Israeli officials, Israeli corporate media, how they gave weapons to protesters and they had bounties for state officials and for burning down mosques. So would Dr. Cornel West come out in support of any protest where we was burning down churches? We know that's not the case, because Zohran Mamdani, AOC, Bernie Sanders, they all was running cover for the ADL and the Zionist genocidal mob when they was condemning anti-genocide protesters in the United States, because they was synagogues who was selling off Palestinian land and it was materially supporting genocide. Then you have Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Zohran Mamdani. They condemned anti-genocide protesters for protesting synagogues, but then they came out in support of a Mossad color revolution that burnt down dozens of mosques and religious institutions, that was murdering police officers. There was over 300 police officers that was murdering. This is what Dr. Cornel West is endorsing. And the same right wing who say that the 2020 George Floyd protest was violent, Jimmy. How many cops died during the 2020 violent George Floyd protest? Zero. None. Meanwhile, in Iran, over 300 police officers was murdered, and the same people who smear, people who wanted to hold our police state accountable, are now saying these protests are peaceful, and we need to show solidarity with them. This is why we don't support these protests, Dr. Cornel West. It's our job as people who live in the imperial core to call out these fake color revolutions, But you notice their job, Jimmy. Their job is to always legitimize the talking point of the empire when they need it. These are the same people who supported the head choppers in Syria, advocating for a free Syria. Now Israel is occupying Syria. They're stealing their wheat and their oil, while the government is still begging for normalized relations and throwing people under the bus who was fighting against the Israeli regime. The same with Venezuela. You have Bernie Sanders called Nicolas Maduro a tyrant. You have Zoran Mamdani who said that Nicolas Maduro is an authoritarian tyrant. Right as Donald Trump is ramping up his offensive against Venezuela. And you have Maria Corina Machado who praised Benjamin Netanyahu for his genocide in Gaza and say he's going to relocate the embassy to Israel-controlled Jerusalem. So you see how they have these Zionist color revolutions all over the world. The Isaac Accords. You have Zionists who are trying to forcibly change governments to support Israel. Meanwhile, the youthful idiots like Dr. Cornel West is lending them credibility. Where's the comment, Jimmy, on the UK being a full-blown fascist state who's arresting doctors for opposing genocide? No comments on that. They're just here to condemn the enemies of the United States like they always do. When we see massive demonstrations of the Iranian people coming out in support of their state, but Dr. Cornel West ignores them because these people are failed leftists. He got all these grays in his beard and his hair because he's been advocating for social democrat reforms and failed. We have fascist paramilitaries in the streets. We have no health care, no paid maternity leave. These people fail to accomplish anything in their life with their politics, Jimmy. So what they do is they live vicariously through other social movements throughout the world. So they say stuff like, we got free Syria, we got free Iran, we got free Hong Kong. They support all these bullshit CIA color revolutions to make up for the fact that they failed to achieve any social change in the United States. So then they lash out against Putin, who does provide health care to his people, who does provide paid maternity leave. Iran has one of the most highly educated women population in the world. But Dr. Cornel West and the progressive left of the United States, they want to plunge their country into civil war because women don't have the right to create an OnlyFans account. Like, they are deeply serious agents of imperialism.